caution debris in turn 4.
Both drivers are door to door as they head towards turn 1 and 2. They make contact. Around both of them go.
Incredible race out there tonight, drivers. Thank y'all so much for putting on such a great show for these fans. There was side-by-side action, clean, good, hard racing. Thank y'all so much for what y'all did for these fans. And give them a wave as you come down the front straightaway.
Welcome in, everyone, to another episode of From the Tower podcast. Tonight's guest is a father and son duo. They have spent over half of the son's life battling medical conditions that needed multiple surgeries. They have been very dominant in the classes that they run in, and they have a huge fan base. You might know them from when they started at SSR Motorsports Park, or now at Mobile International Speedway. Please help us welcome Robert and Ely Loper.
Yeah, you can only have it all for like 45 minutes at a time.
So did they remove your pancreas? Okay, so you
You
don't.
got it at all.
Yeah.
You don't got a pancreas, a gallbladder,
Appendix.
Okay.
Jeez.
I know the pancreas is what regulates insulin.
That's
So
right.
I do
It's
know
what
that.
provides the
And
insulin
so
all
that's
the
what,
time.
well, and I know it's a dangerous little son of a bitch too, because that's what my mom wound up passing from pancreatic cancer. And so,
I was like a year away from getting it.
yeah, and it's inoperable and all that. And so it's probably best that they went ahead and removed it.
Believe it or not, the first championship he won in the orange car
Mm-hmm.
2 years ago, whatever it was now,
Yeah,
one of his hospital stays, they gave him 3 days to live.
Yeah. And
really.
they had overdosed me on like anxiety medicine, all kind of stuff. It was rough.
Damn.
Gee. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that wasn't fun at all. I couldn't imagine just sitting there and they're like 3 days. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It's rough.
especially as a parent too. You
Yeah.
know, me and Tim both have kids. I can't imagine what you went through with that. Just
They
It
wasn't
was
even
hard.
there.
Yeah.
We was here when it happened.
yeah.
It was just me and my sister up there, and she wasn't.
Were you
18
in
at the time.
Birmingham? I'm guessing. Or
New Orleans.
New Orleans. I got you.
Did they ever what is the official diagnosis? What's it called?
Chronic pancreatitis is what I had.
Gotcha.
Well, I mean, we can edit that out.
You can bleep it out. Yeah. Well, anyway, Robert, Ely, Mr. Loper, Ely, we thank y'all for being on the pod tonight. Kind of just want to get y'all story. We know, obviously, as we just went into a little bit, Ely, you have a very special story, and just to see you out on the track every weekend and racing again, it's a blessing. It's a beautiful thing to see you out there doing it again. Very dominant
Yes.
this year. But I want to kind of to you first, Mr. Robert. Kind of tell us your story, how you got into racing, and where you're at now with it.
So it basically started out as a young kid. I've seen racing all the time, and I begged and begged for a go-kart. I wanted
Right.
to race go-karts. And finally, my grandfather bought me a go-kart. Come out here and race the yard kart division when this was J&J.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
A long
Oh, dirt
time
track
ago.
days.
I was young.
Yeah.
And, learned a lot then, and just kept being in love with it more and more and more. And then I met Robert Barber, which is one of my best friends, and he taught me into buying a Stinger. Actually, we bought the first one, then built the second, on and on. And come out here racing Stingers. Back then, we had 12, 15 cars a night. It was so much fun. They had so many, they had a novice and a pro class.
I got you.
Okay.
And went from that to racing bombers here and there, and went to Mobile International and raced bombers and all that stuff, and had a blast. And Howard Langham and Jonathan basically gave me my break in building a good fast car. I win my first derby I was ever in, and it's been going on since then. Luckily I was able to get both of my kids in it here at a young age. Eli's raced every division here at Sunny South Raceway, and made his way up to the big track now. And nothing against Sunny South by far. I love this place. This was a great stomping ground for him.
And we recognize it's a stepping stone, and that's our biggest thing is we want the kids to go on and be successful at Mobile and Pensacola and the bigger tracks around here. That's what I told I think it was Tim the other night, because Tim flags for me over there at Mobile now, and we were talking, and at one point in the truck race, I think 2nd through 4th were all former SSR drivers, and they had all got their start here in karts or bandos or something. And it's just, a couple weeks ago, they all had won every winter. 3 of the 5 were SSR drivers, and so it was really cool to see that, because it just shows that what we're doing here does transfer on.
Right, and it's not only like they're not just jumping up to bigger cars; they're jumping up to bigger cars and winning. Like they are out there putting their talent to good use, and to Eli's testament here, I mean, he's been dominant in pure socks all year long.
Not just winning, so in some cases dominating.
Yeah,
I think I want to say you've set fast time every night. And
set fast time every night, and I have track record at Mobile and Pensacola.
That's what I thought. I didn't want to speak out of turn, but I really thought it was, and it's been great to watch.
This is one of the hardest tracks to learn around here, anywhere close. So I feel like to start here, you can make it somewhere from starting here, just because it's such a hard track.
We have heard that pretty consistently. Just about every driver that has come on the pod has said. Even Abe, he drove Legends out here and everything, and he's drove all over the country. And he said this is one of the hardest tracks to learn at. I know, Robert, you said you drove Bombers out here. I think we drove against each other a couple times. And I want to say it was you that pushed me down the front stretch sideways one night. Probably. And came over to me afterwards and was like, I didn't have any brakes. I'm sorry. And I was like, that's all right, man. You were a little bit bigger back then, a little more intimidating. I had a baseball bat ready. I was rolling fenders. I was like, that man's probably, I came down on him or something. And so he came over and he's like, man, I'm sorry. I got into you and pushed you down the straightaway. But those Bomber cars, they were hard to get off for, because I know I needed one of them little knobs on the steering wheel, because I would have full left lock in it, and then it'd be fighting it getting down the straightaway.
For sure. I wish I would have been around, like, old enough to run back then when they had 12, 15 cars in mini stock class, because I loved having eco stock at Mobile.
Yep.
And I practiced the Stinger out here one time, but by the time I was old enough, they didn't run them anymore.
Right.
I wish I would have been around for that and the Bombers.
It really sucked because they just kind of died off. I know one of the last time we ran them, and we were doing a double night where we were running them here, and they were going to load up and go down to Mobile and run later in the night. I want to say 3 or 4 cars showed up.
4, yeah.
And so because of that, it's just like the Pro Challenge. We put Pro Challenge on the schedule every week, and none showed up.
Yeah.
So.
And I remember when I started flagging out here, you were in Pro Challenge. Eli, I think, was still in karts, or maybe you were in the bando at the time.
You ran both of them at the same time.
Okay, and this is years ago, and I'm getting old, so I can barely remember things. Michaela was running a senior champ kart, but I mean, the Pro Challenge, there was 7 or 8 of them a night. I mean,
every week.
It was a fun class to watch, and again, it just disappeared.
Yeah. A lot of those drivers traveled. A lot of those cars change hands a lot, and I want to say people look at it as a smaller car and they think it's going to be something easy to work on and easy to make fast. It's not. It's basically like a scaled down late model all but.
It's exactly what it is.
Yeah, and so it's easy to look at it and think you can do it, and then actually getting behind the wheel is a completely different thing.
Right. Well, I mean, going back to when I first started, you guys were racing everything, and you had your Pro Challenge, and I know a couple years ago you stepped into the Legacy for a season, I believe. How would you compare a Legacy to a Pro Challenge car? Because visually they look almost the same, but I know you had a truck when you raced Pro Challenge, if I remember right. But I mean, as far as like internal and working on it, how would you compare the two?
They're pretty close to the same. The Pro Challenge was a little bit more set up on them because it had. We always said it's like a cat on carpet because it had all kind of motor and that little bitty old wheelbase band and all that. And the Legacy, they really don't have a whole bunch of motor. They're more of a momentum car.
Gotcha.
So we tend to set the Legacies up a little bit looser than you would a Pro Challenge.
Gotcha.
But other than that, I mean, suspension wise and all that, they're pretty close. It's just motor difference. I've always told everybody they're a different animal to drive because there is no power steering. You have a small rack and pinion just like you do on a Bando or Legend or Pro Challenge. They all have the same rack and pinion. It's nothing.
Yeah.
It's all manhandle.
The hardest part with the Legacy, having the rack and pinion like that, you're going so fast around Mobile, and with all the banking, it's hard to turn. Like, you got to really bow up on the wheel to turn those cars.
Put some arm into it, put some muscle into it.
I mean, they look like super speedway cars out there. I know the race this past weekend, the top 4 were under a blanket, and it looked like they were drafting.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they were at that point. But they would just stay nose to tail lap after lap, and it was really good racing. They were clean, but they were so fast, and they just that personally, that track looks like it's a little bit too fast, or right there on the edge of being too fast for those smaller cars. But they put on a heck of a show, and they're a huge class out there.
Yeah.
Well, watching the race with the Legacies, you could tell when Chad would get out of the draft. Well, we say it seemed like a draft. When he would jump out of the lane to go to pass Bo Martin, he would, kind of fall back a little bit, and then he'd have to jump back in it, and he'd catch him again. So I feel like it was a draft, just because you could kind of notice in the replay, falling back, catching up, stuff like that.
They all seem so evenly matched.
Like getting in the slipstream, basically.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, and watching them, I mean, like you said at Mobile, it looks like a super speedway race. And then, you got somebody drafting, like I remember Justin Reeves in the race Saturday night. He was running fourth at the time, and it almost like he caught that draft. And in 3 and 4, I mean, I watched him. He about ate wall. He was sideways and had to catch that thing, and he lost the top 3 from that point on. But I mean, you see these legacy cars go off turn 2, Jimmy Day a few weeks ago, and they just fly because they're so small. I couldn't imagine trying to squeeze my big butt in one of those cars.
Yeah. And it seems like they're right there on the edge too, because we had several cars that spun in 1 and 2. I guess they just carried a little bit too much momentum, and they never really bobbled or anything. It just out from under them immediately.
Those cars snap.
Yeah.
Bad. Yeah. Like really
the 02, I can't remember his name, but
Brandon Wilson.
Yeah. So I threw the caution prematurely the first time he spun, because he did a complete 360, caught it, and just caught a gear and kept going. And I was like, oh man, I already called caution on that one. I should just let it kind of play out.
He was in front of some people. That looked like it was going to be bad.
And I didn't expect it to just snap back around and him catch it. And then it happened a little while later on. Then it kind of spun again. So another caution, but it looks like they're right there on the edge.
You say that the first race of Pensacola this year, I drove the 29 Legacy.
Okay, the yellow one that Carter Taylor drove?
Yep.
Gotcha.
I drove it over there in practice. That was my first time in the Legacy at Pensacola. And everybody knows Pensacola, if you can get off 2, you're fast. Well, come off 2, I spun out. They already threw the red flag because they thought I backed it into the wall.
Yeah.
Dang.
And Nicholas come over there after practice. He said, Loper, don't get no big hit, but you can drive, buddy. I said, what do you mean? He's like, you kept that car off the wall. He said, I already threw the red flag. Ambulance was on their way.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of speed, in which I don't know everybody. I know me, when I drive a Legacy, I don't lift. I hold it to the floor. It's a super speedway for me. I set my cars up as a super speedway. The Legacy's up for super speedway. I don't run no rollout or none of that, because it's a momentum track for them cars. It's not a short track like it is for our big cars.
Right. Yeah. And even, you say short track, but Mobile's a pretty big track, considering even for short track standards.
Right.
It's my dad always compared it to. He said Mobile it's like a momentum track. It's a roll track. You got to roll the centers and everything.
Right.
Where Pensacola is a little bit more finesse.
Right. One thing I've always learned or heard, which BJ Latham is the one that I heard it from the most. Mobile's a motor track and Pensacola's a handling track.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
And it's crazy because they're the same size, but I mean, just the banking in Mobile and the differences in the track.
I have heard it's the way they're measured. Pensacola is a half a mile around the outside. Where Mobile is a half a mile in the actual racing groove.
Correct.
And so I think Pensacola would actually be probably like a 3/5 mile, maybe, or like a little bit less than a half. Not necessarily 3/5, but maybe a 2/5, something like that. Yeah. And in the groove. But like Robert was talking about, the wall on either side there, it's tight.
Yeah.
And so to spin and keep a car out of the wall, no matter the size of it, is an impressive feat.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, you see somebody just barely loop it and just nose it into the wall, and their night's over.
That track eats cars.
It does. Yeah. And it's so much fun to drive. I
love
it.
Well, Eli, do you remember whenever you're ready to go racing? How old were you when you first started racing?
I was 4 years old racing out here in the Mighty Mite division.
Mighty Mites.
Started there. I think I ran 1 or 2 seasons in Mighty Mites, I believe, and just steadily moved up throughout here, which I moved up to Mobile young.
Right.
More younger than most drivers would. I think I was 11 when I got into an Eco Stock for the first time. That was the first car I ever drove there. And I ran, my first ever race was the Lee Fields, actually, when I think Gina on the track.
Yep.
And I ran second in that. I led over half the race and hit a hole in the backstretch. Because when you get to the end of the flat at Mobile on the backstretch, there's a big pothole.
It did it, yep.
And I hit it and threw the car sideways and ended up running second in my first race. Then after that, I'd lead every lap, and left front tire would fall off every race.
Every single race.
Jeez.
I went like 4 or 5 races in a row, led every lap that I was running, and front tire fell off the car. So
Like
I never finished.
the wheel bearing gave up, or the studs broke, or
Studs, everything.
really?
Like the lug nuts would still be there.
Yeah,
And you could put the wheel back on, tighten it back up, and go racing again.
that's
It didn't tear
crazy.
nothing
Yeah,
up.
that
But
is crazy.
I don't know why. We tried and tried. And like you said, the first race he ran there, it ran great. Everything did perfect. We didn't change nothing, and it got worse. But what he didn't tell y'all, the first time he drove there, his first green flag lap, he tried not to lift in it, and straight over 1 and 2 he went. And they always brag about it. He never lifted when he hit the ground. He shifted, and come off right back on track and was gone. And Gina's like, "This little kid's crazy."
That's that youth, man.
Mhm.
You're invincible when you're
Right.
young. So.
I mean, these kids stepping up, they have no fear.
Yeah.
I mean, they just
Well,
punch the gas and go.
At that point, it's not like it was his first ever lap. He probably had thousands of laps around this track,
Oh,
and so
thousands and
yeah,
thousands.
and so it's one of those things where it's repetition. It's just a little bit different scene, a little bit different car and stuff like that, but it's the same thing you're used to.
Right. Yeah. Well, like we said earlier, you're in the pure stocks now and dominating in the pure stocks. I mean, fast time, new track record, and track record at Pensacola or Five Flags, however you prefer. What's the future plans? Are we staying in the pure stock? Are we going to jump up somewhere? Or
I'm not exactly positive on that, but I think I'll run one more season after this in the pure stock and maybe move up to a sportsman or truck eventually.
yeah,
Just see where it goes from there, really.
I got you. And I mean, obviously, you're having fun out there, but we've had some health issues, and so kind of just want to kind of get your feedback on racing with the health issues going on and how it takes a toll on you. Can you explain that a little bit to us?
It's definitely a mindset thing.
Mhm.
So you can't get in the hospital, I was in the hospital a lot of times 2, 3 days before a race. Get out, start conditioning yourself, outside, running around, stuff like that, just to get your body prepared. But if you sit there and get in your head, oh, I'm sick, I'm down, stuff like that, you won't make it. Because it is really hard driving a race car. It's a lot of physical on your body.
Mhm.
So if you don't mentally prepare yourself, you won't really make it. But if you just stay out of your own head, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
But dealing with it for 8 years, you kind of get used to it over time. It's like just another day.
Right. Now, how many hospital stays have you had over the last few years? I know it's been a bunch.
Too many
Probably
to count.
well over 50.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then how many surgeries total now?
I've had one major surgery, which
Mhm.
was my last one in 2024.
Mhm.
And before that, I kept having stent placements and stuff like that never worked. They
Right.
always failed. But probably 5 in total.
5 or so. I mean, but then, I mean, just the resilience to come back and get into a race car, and not only just get in a race car and just dominate, like we've been saying.
Oh, for sure. And we talked about it before we got on here. You're 16, so you say 8 years you've been dealing with this. That's half your life.
Yep.
And so it's a majority of it probably at a certain point.
Right.
And so now the age is caught up to where it is half. But kudos to you for staying positive. Like you said, a lot of it is mental, and a lot of people don't understand that. I've had people close to me that got bad sick, and that mental thing is so important, just to keep a positive mindset and to know that you're going to be okay, even if the prognosis, like you said, at one point you had 3 days to live, the doctor told you. And so probably staying positive through that probably helped get through that and make sure and prove them wrong, which is the biggest thing and the most impressive thing, is proving those doctors wrong.
Right. I mean, you also got to have a strong support system from mom and dad, right?
Mhm.
And correct me if I'm wrong, I'm going based off memory here, but I mean, you were in the hospital in Louisiana, right?
New Orleans, and I had my surgery in Ohio. But I've been to Birmingham, and they was gonna send me to, I think it was Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
But it was mainly New Orleans, the USA Women and Children's here, and Birmingham,
Birmingham.
UAB.
Well, I mean, the support system with family and mom and dad, that's a toll. That's a toll. You got work, you got kids, race cars too, but the kid that's sick, that's how much was that on you guys to make sure, for one, he was okay, but that's a lot of running around. I mean, you're talking states away.
Yes. It was pretty strong on us. I mean, we had to take our turns, of course, and keep life going at home because we had our daughter still
Right.
to keep going, and life here too. But it took a pretty big toll on us for the most part. We just had to stay positive and didn't let him get down.
Right.
So if we stay positive, he stayed positive.
Right.
And I remember at one time they told him he had to quit all sports, and he told him, he said, "If you're gonna make me quit racing, you might as well kill me."
Mm.
And they was like, "Well, let's let's talk about this. And after they came and seen how the car, actually he was in the bando then when all this started. They seen how he was contained in the car and all that. It's like, well, if you take a blunt, it's going to hurt, and it may cause a flare up. Is what they called it.
Yeah.
And he would literally be in the hospital 2 or 3 days before a race. Heck, we've been here before. Left the hospital, come straight here, and he's got in a bando win a race.
Yeah.
And that was the only thing that made him happy, that kept him going, and something to think about, to look forward to. Then, hey, I'm sick.
Right.
And luckily, it kept him to positive. And I tell everybody, he has I don't remember, I think he call it a statement of his own. They call it something.
I mean, he's got his own story for sure. I mean, it's an amazing story. I mean, just from the time I've been around you at Mobile the last couple years, you couldn't tell you went through such a traumatic life experience, because you're always just a positive kid and just happy to be around other people. And not only that, taking time out with fans and chatting with them, And these people have no clue. Some of these fans have no clue what you've been through. They just know Eli Loper, the race car driver.
Right.
And so, I mean, that's big kudos to you for being only 16 and doing what you do, man. It's a beautiful thing.
I will say, too, the Lopers are great race car drivers.
Yeah.
They're pretty good cornhole players also. I don't know if y'all still play or not, but I've been in a couple tournaments with them, and Robert beat me in one tournament I was in. And so we wound up second behind you and another guy, me and Josh, in that one. It's been several years ago, but I was like, man, that Joker's a dual sport guy. So.
And we play softball on the weekends too.
Do you? Staying active. So, yeah, no, I didn't know if y'all still did cornhole, but I remember y'all were pretty active in it for a while.
Not as much anymore. The year that he took off of racing, he went professional.
Yeah.
Played a bunch of big tournaments and stuff like that, and
a little
had a blast doing it.
Little less strenuous of a sport.
Right. And still kicking butt.
And it kind of brought me down a little bit, because I'm a racer. I want to race. But I understood his point too. And luckily, he was able to come back racing and made a positive note about it.
Yeah. Go back to what you're truly passionate about.
Yep.
You got that filler sport for a little while, but your true passion is racing.
You got to have side hobbies, I'm sure, but racing, again, it's just such a big part of everybody's life. I feel like around here, racing, I mean, football, sure, we talk about football and it being big. Everybody loves. You're an Alabama fan of. Yep. And so
Roll Tide.
War Eagle. But anyway,
you're outnumbered, Tim.
I know, it's okay. I'm just kidding. But still, racing around here is just such a stronghold. We talk about family, and racing is just a big family.
It is.
And so I'm sure a bunch of racers, we're there to have y'all's back as well through all that as well.
100%. We've had so many racers reach out and help us and ask us for anything, or ask us, do we need anything? And even people from Montgomery that he's never met before. I've met them, but he's never met them and stuff like that. They was all reaching out to us when we was in Cincinnati, that you wouldn't believe the backup we had. Don't get me wrong, I love my immediate family, but I tell everybody, racing family is everything.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
I always say, and I made a post the other day, family first. And every win picture we have, you can't see the car because there's so many people.
Oh, people clear out the grandstands. It's amazing to see, but it just shows how big of a status y'all have in the racing community as well. Y'all are a huge part of this community because, like you said, you've been doing it since J&J was here. And
right.
So you've established yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not going to lie. I kind of get the big head when I'm walking through Walmart somewhere or something like that, and somebody says, hey, that's Robert Loper or Eli Loper. It's hard
not to. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, I was in the flag stand Saturday night in Mobile, and Logan was race direct, and then I was sitting there. We were waiting on one of the races to get ready, and Logan's like, Tim, look behind you. There's Bob Green. And I'm like, I didn't even know Bob Green was still alive. He's so old now. But
it's one of these things where, whenever I was a kid, those were my heroes. Baker, we raced with Tim Baker for years. Well, him and Bob Green became friends, and so Baker ran Pimco on his car, and the one win Baker got was Bob spun him coming to the checker because Bobby told him to come down on Bob because he didn't want him to get past. And so they were friends for years, and Bobby worked on those Pimco cars, and I just remember growing up with Bob Green. I used to think forever he was Abraham Lincoln because he looked just like him, and he still does. He still got that same beard and everything. But it's really cool to see those racers that go away from the track for a while come back and still be involved in some way, shape, or another. I know Bob got hurt. That's what took him out of the car. He broke his back. And so it's cool to see him still come out there and support the racetrack.
Yeah, and a few weeks ago we saw Gerald Wilkerson out there, and just these racing legends. And I mean, you're basically a legend in your own right.
I want to be.
Yeah, and
Well,
Eli is on his way for
yeah,
sure.
and Dave Mater. Was
Dave
back out there
Mater,
the other
he was
day.
out racing.
I know. I had a conversation with him about a thing he wasn't quite happy about, and so he didn't like that every car involved in the caution goes to the rear.
Gotcha.
He said if you're the victim in that, it just doesn't seem fair. And I was like, you're right, but it keeps us from having to make a judgment call on
Right.
every one of them. And so it's just one of those things that he was voicing his opinion, and I was like, well, unfortunately, it's not going to change.
Yeah.
I feel like the big thing about racing, we can go out on the track and wreck each other, but come into the pits, we can be best friends the next day.
Mm-hmm.
It's not it's a competitive sport, don't get me wrong, like really competitive, but you can also come off track and be best friends.
Mhm.
Yeah. I feel like it's a lot of passion. Like you said,
Mhm.
we were talking about, the podcast and everything. Or like, I'm used to doing interviews when I'm pumped up on the front straightaway, and it's just that adrenaline rush you get, and it's incredible. If you've never driven a car, you don't really understand it. And
Right.
I was known for wrecking, and so I told somebody one time, I was like, the greatest exhilaration I ever got was just putting a bumper against somebody and them not being there anymore and spinning them out. I was like, it is such a rush. It's not not great for them, and it's bad whenever you're on the other end of it, but it's pretty exhilarating when you can turn somebody around, because you can't do that on the interstate.
Yeah. Well, how many snowball victories do you have?
I got 5.
5. Okay. Eli, do you have a snowball? Not yet.
I've only ran one snowball, and last lap we had unfortunate luck, and I was
Gotcha.
running third.
Gotcha.
But besides that, I haven't ran any.
Well, it's
I've
on the
only
way.
run 2 races at Five Flags, and I won the last one, and then the snowball was the other one.
Gotcha. Well, it's on the way. That's for sure.
For sure.
But what's your future plans, Mr. Robert? Are you stepping back in a car this year at all, or?
I'm gonna play in the Legacy some, and we have a Crown Vic that he wrecked in the Derby. Actually,
Gotcha.
we're gonna put it back together. I'm gonna play with that. Other than that, its main focus is on him.
It's on Eli.
I don't know how to say it, but I kept telling everybody the year that he won the championship in 24. I
Mhm.
was like, we did this battling illness.
Right.
I hate to see what this year holds, and so far we've held up to it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And we're gonna pour it all into that car. All the time goes into that car. Keep him up front and keep them positive, I guess you'd say.
And you can tell y'all spend a lot of time on it. It's a beautiful car.
It's a
and it
very
looks
pretty car.
It looks immaculate every time it hits the racetrack.
You
And
got to.
yeah, well, and the fact that he's pretty dominant. He's able to work his way through traffic even whenever the dice roll puts him to the back a little bit, but you do it cleanly. I don't even think there's a tire mark on there. So
We got one on the nose and
Okay.
one on the passenger door toward the front,
okay,
trying to pass somebody, a newer racer, and it come down on him. No steel wheel or none of that.
yeah,
kind of
just
stuff.
one of them things.
Just a little race.
Racing
And-
situation.
And a lot of times you can blame that on the spotters, and so that's what Bobby always did. He always put the blame on me. So
Right.
And that's a great testament to someone who knows their car. He knows exactly how many tire marks are on the car.
that just shows you how much time they spend.
That's
on it.
right. And it's for sure pretty important. You got to be on top of all of that. Well, I mean, is there a reason the car is orange? I know the Bando was orange, and I remember if the cart was orange. Was the cart orange? I don't remember.
The
That was
cart-
Got all
so.
kind of different color cars.
Yeah. But the Bando is orange. The pure stock is orange. Where's the orange come from? You said you're an Alabama fan, but you're rocking orange. I may see.
So, be honest with you, we was in Walmart one night. Eli was little bitty.
Mhm.
I know nothing about Superman.
Okay. Yeah.
And Eli seen the orange Superman shirt, and he's like, "Daddy, I like that. Let's put that on the car." And that's where the whole Superman come from.
Well,
Oh,
I
okay.
know I have a picture of my daughter in one of his race suits because y'all left it here as a loaner suit, and it's got the big Superman thing on the back. And it's one of my favorite pictures because it's her in that suit and me and her standing at the top of one over there, just looking at the track where she was testing a Mighty Mite.
That
And
is
so,
his actual first race suit.
yeah,
That's my
and
first ever fire suit.
there's a kid using it this year. Like that suit has changed hands so many times and has blessed so many racers. The fact that y'all left it here,
Yeah.
and
I was just curious on it's a beautiful car. I'm not
Mhm.
saying it's obviously not, an ugly car at all, but where the orange came from.
Yeah.
Because like even on your shirt, you got the orange, and I know you guys have rocked it over the years. So,
yeah.
well, how's Michaela doing? I see her at the track every now and then, and I know you're getting ready to be a grandpa. Are you excited?
Yes, I'm very excited. I can't wait.
So
And
future Loper racer?
hopefully,
Yeah.
longer.
couple years from now they'll have a Mighty Mite out
Mighty
here,
Mite
so-
about 5 years
know
or
it.
so?
Yeah.
You know it. We've already been talking about building Hot Wheels and stuff.
Okay. Okay.
So yes, and actually, she just her fiance lived in Louisiana, and they actually just moved back down here
I gotcha.
because she wanted to be closer to her family while she was pregnant,
Understandable.
and they come down for one of the softball tournaments that I put on,
Hmm.
and he surprised her with asking her to marry him.
Okay.
And it was a pretty fun little deal there.
So I guess we like him for right now, huh?
Oh, yeah, he's a cool guy.
Good.
So far,
Good.
Well, and we talk about Michaela, former track champion here.
Yep.
You know,
2 years in a row.
it's in the family. It's not
Yep.
just the boys of the family. Even the girls are dominant whenever they hit the track.
Yeah. I was fixing to say, in my first night flagging here, Michaela was in the carts, and it was practice, and she come out of 4 and slid, and I don't think she hit the wall, but she flipped on the side.
Yeah.
She flipped on her side, and she hurt her elbow a little bit. And
That may have been the night she got burnt.
She still has.
Or
a
yeah,
scar
that
to
was
this
in
day.
the-
it very well
Yeah,
may
was it?
been.
Okay.
And then she flipped it back and won the feature race that night.
Mhm.
She came back and won that night. I mean, that's just another testament to the Lopers
Mhm.
and just their racing.
I
will.
remember what you're talking about. She was going in like in the middle of the apex of 1 and 2 and
Yep.
flipped over on her side.
Yep.
I remember that.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if it was like again.
Yeah.
I'm old guys. I don't remember much, but yes. And she flipped over, but she came back and won the feature race that night
Yeah.
and just kicked butt. I mean, it was crazy to watch. Well, guys, who helped y'all in the car? Let's tell some sponsors here. Who's y'all sponsors to help out?
We got Mike's Automotive. It's like a body shop and mechanic. They're really, really great people. They help us out. Michael Jordan. Yep.
Oh, okay. Yep, right here in Grand Bay. Yeah.
Helps out a whole lot on the race car, and he's also Old Boy Motorsports.
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly what they do.
Old Boy Motorsports is Mark Davis and his partner.
Okay. Yep.
They painted a car there. And they take care of our paint job.
Gotcha.
Well, they do a great job.
Yeah, very much so.
Mark has painted all his race vehicles since he was started.
Really.
Every
Yeah.
single one of them.
Down
Most-
to my Mighty Mike, my first Mighty
Yeah,
Mike.
most of the time we just got out there with a rattle can because we knew it was going to get a door knocked off or a fender knocked off or something. We wanted a color that was easily matchable,
Right.
and so we would always go with like the Rust-Oleum colors, safety red, the blue, the yellow, something like that. That way, we might spray the first one, but then especially whenever you move up like super stocks and all that, where you
Right.
have the fiberglass fenders, we wanted something we could take out in the yard and it was going to match once we put it on the car.
Right.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
we've always been real picky about that. I've always been, I'd say I'm a bright person. I
Mhm.
love bright colors. Anything that stands out, I want it. I'm different than anybody and everybody, and I want to be.
Mhm.
So we've always had exotic paint colors, exotic themes, all kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
it did. Luckily, it extended down to him, and he liked it. And the plan was to paint the car the same color as the Bando, which is 509 Honey.
hmm
They ran out of it at the time. We just found out last Saturday we found some more.
Well, I remember that paint job changed. Like the more it was in the sun, it kind of
Yes.
started not
Yeah.
necessarily
Yeah.
fading, but it just lightened up the
Yeah.
longer.
Right.
It glowed.
Yeah, it
Not-
was
Not
really
saying that
pretty.
the paint was bad. It
No,
was just
it
like
just-
the way the lighting hit
Yeah.
it was really cool. Yeah.
It was a beautiful car.
The
Yeah.
main thing about that paint job, it had we put so much pearl in it.
hmm
I was running through the paint shop just grabbing pearl and dumping it in. So we clogged the gun. We put so much pearl in it, and our painter had to go through there and thin it up and stuff.
Mhm.
And there was a lot of pearl in that car. That's why
Yeah.
it shines so much.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, and the Pure Stock does just about the same thing under the
Mhm.
lights in Mobile. Going through the lights, it just glimmers, and it's just a beautiful car.
They call that a sunset orange.
It's
Pearl.
yeah. I mean, and honestly, now that you say that, it does look like the color of a sunset. So,
Yeah.
yeah. It's pretty spot on with that description.
Yeah.
We was at Cruising the Coast a couple years ago, and they had the shirts that had the orange truck on the back of it. And he said, "Dad, I like that color too."
hmm
And we went to that guy's shop and bought the paint that we have now.
Okay.
It's pretty costly to be on a round track car, and he told us that. He's like, "Man, this is some expensive paint." And at the time, he was really, really bad off, and I was like, "Look, I don't care.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Whatever it is, let's do it."
Well, and even the little things like that, just the paint color that you want, it can boost your morale.
It did.
you know?
Yeah.
He actually brought us and showed us that actual truck and everything, and he fell in love with it.
Yeah.
It was just bright colored, pretty, some kind of glamour, pearl,
hmm
clear coat, and all this kind of crazy stuff, and it really turned out great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were highlighting your sponsors. Did you make it through everybody? I just wanted to make sure. So.
Dave Mater, big help on the car, helps set it up. Really helps with a lot of stuff. And Freedom Towing, they're a big tire sponsor and stuff. Always come to the track supporting. And Twisted Monkey Inc. They do all our tattoo work. They're really amazing people.
Mhm.
Best
That's
friends.
that's Justin Wasserman, right?
Yeah.
Great guy.
Best friends.
He did
and-
my tattoo.
Yeah.
The one that I have.
Oh, well, that's a little connection there
Yeah.
that I wasn't aware of. So.
And Tolbert Construction, they're a big help when it comes to tires and stuff like that. Let's see, Wetline Apparel, They've been doing a lot of the giveaways at the tracks and stuff.
I've been seeing the stickers all around the concession stand and stuff.
Well, and you set up with the ARCA driver the other night, and we're signing autographs and stuff in the stands and giving T-shirts and all kind of stuff away. So
yeah, that's Daniel Loper. He's a great person. Great person. They help us out with a lot. Precision Pools, big tire sponsor. Thad Slay, Amanda Slay, really great people. He plays softball with us actually.
I gotcha.
On the weekends. Really great people to help us out a lot.
Okay. Well, before you get out of here, I wanted to kind of ask you a question with your young career. Do you have a favorite win that you've had so far? I mean, any win at all that just rings, you still think of it today?
Probably Lee Fields.
The Lee Fields Memorial. Yeah.
I was really excited about that night just because the belt, it's different than a trophy.
Yeah.
You go out there win a trophy anywhere, but you don't go win a belt.
Right.
And actually, I got all my surgeons and doctors to sign the belt.
Really?
So it's got signatures all over it and stuff like that.
That's
hanging up
cool.
in my room on the wall. It's pretty neat.
We always chased one of them belts. We never got one.
Yeah.
We came close. We ran second one night to Bubba Winslow. And just right on his bumper, but couldn't make the pass.
Yeah, that belt is a super cool trophy. I can't think of anybody else that hands out a belt. I mean, you got like guitars in Nashville, and they did jukeboxes for a little while.
For the Arcamobile races.
Yeah.
Which was cool, but it, with the history of Lee Fields and the wrestling and everything, the belt is iconic, and it makes sense for that racetrack.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get another one this year. It'd be cool to have two of them hanging on the wall.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Well, I mean, keep it up. I think you're going to definitely have one. I mean, you've got a little bit of competition for sure. Colby McDonald's been fast all year, but I mean, you're doing a great job. Just keep it up, man. And we're very, very excited to see what y'all have in the future. We always know it's going to be a fun race night when we see you guys on the track and at the track and ready to roll. But guys, we want to thank y'all so much for coming on. We really appreciate y'all, and we'll have you again in the future and see how everything goes the rest of the season.
Yeah, get a little update. Hopefully you're still kicking butt later on in the year. So
for sure. So good luck with everything, and good luck with your racing adventures this year. And take it easy, all right? Don't go out there and hurt nobody.
Thank y'all for having us.
Yeah,
appreciate y'all.
All right, thank y'all. We at From the Tower want to take a second and thank all of our amazing sponsors, the two of them we have right now. The first one, OEC Workplace Solutions. They donated us a very beautiful table to do our work on, so thank you to them. Go see them for all the other office supply needs, office furniture needs. They have multiple lines of furniture and different things you need for the office setting. Make sure you reach out to them and check them out. Also, All-Star Graphics. Matt Hillhouse, our racer here at SSR, does a great job with the cars on track, vinyl work, stickers, shirts, T-shirts, signs, yard signs. Has everything you need to make sure all your signage needs are taken care of. Thank you to our sponsors. All right, it was great to have Robert and Eli on the show, man. Davey, thank you for sitting back, letting Robert and Eli come on, doing your thing behind the camera.
Y'all are the more talkative. Y'all two are the more talkative of the three of us.
Well, we're the ugliest, but you sacrificed your beauty to sit behind the camera.
I didn't say nothing about that, but y'all also know them a lot better from y'all working at Mobile, and I'm still somewhat new to getting to know everybody in the racing community around here. So it just makes more sense for y'all two to.
Well, and like I kind of touched on too, I was racing against Robert whenever I was 16 years old. So I was kind of full circle moment there because I couldn't remember if it was him or if it was Robert Barber that pushed me down the front straightaway. And then the more we talked, I was like, it was Loper. I do remember now.
I had a baseball bat and I was ready to swing it.
It was more one of those deals where I was like, that dude in that car is bigger than me, and I'm 16. He probably doesn't realize that. I also legitimately had the baseball bat because my fender was pushed in on my tire and I was trying to clear it. And so, but on the off chance some stuff popped off, also had the baseball bat just in case.
You think the fender was bent because he hit the wall?
No, it was because it was whenever he hooked me, he hit me in the front end and then just kind of, he had no brakes. Like they unloaded that car and worked on it from the time it unloaded to the time it hit. I think they had just got it. And so
I still feel like it was Logan's fault somehow.
I will say, and knock on wood,
he definitely came down.
I probably did. That car was so big, you had to arch 3 and 4 a lot to be able to make it off of 4. And so I honestly thought I did kind of come down on him, and maybe that was the reason he pushed me down the straightaway. But he come over there and said he had no brakes. But I will say, knock on wood, I never hit a wall. I frisbeed out of 3 and 4 before at Mobile. Thank God there wasn't a wall there. But I never hit a wall.
Yeah.
So,
well, speaking of Mobile, some great racing this weekend in Mobile. I know Eli Loper, who we just had on the show, dominating the pure stocks. He has been all year.
We had a lot of action in the pure stock division.
Mhm.
We had a rollover in qualifying.
Yeah.
That was crazy because, from the tower, at that point, that triangulated window in the front.
I said from the tower.
It's plugged.
I don't think you can plug your own podcast on your own
I can
podcast.
do
Shout out to
whatever
From the
I
Tower
want to.
podcast.
I can do whatever I want to.
Yeah, Philip Goudreau.
So,
Philip
yeah,
Goudreau
I
in the
couldn't remember.
73.
I knew it was Darren Matthews' car because he'd been driving it most of this year.
Mhm.
But the way that triangulated window was, I was getting a glare off the left side window, and I thought I saw like a flash of yellow. And I was
Mhm.
like, maybe it's just a reflection off one of the cars, something like that. And then you went caution. I was like, what's the caution for? He was like, there's somebody upside down over there.
Yeah.
And so you could see at the top of the hill just like this much of the bottom of the car and the four tires sticking
Yeah.
out.
It was a crazy sight to see from the flag stand. Sorry, Dave. You weren't trying to cut you off.
So I wasn't there this
Mhm.
weekend.
Because they're
But
not cool like us.
but just from hearing that story, I'm starting to notice a trend with Logan that he doesn't really trust his flag men on the cautions anymore.
Well.
So we're like, where we throw a caution, he's like, "What's that
Well,
for?"
it was more of like he had something going on too in the tower. He was trying to get something situated for the race night, and I just remember I'm like, oh snap, because he went into one and he was sideways,
Yeah.
and he went to correct and just boom off he went, and it just barrel rolled two or three times.
And so,
guys, it was a joke.
oh, I know.
Yeah,
Well, at least it wasn't for a rock this time.
yeah, true.
It was in the racing line.
I
and it was-
understand. That was my
like,
joke, Davey.
So like,
It's one of those things, though, where if it's a
I'm a-
clear piece of debris or something that
Yeah.
I can see quickly, I'm not going to ask you.
I'm gonna
But-
quote SpongeBob here. It's not just a rock; it's a boulder.
It was a
It
boulder
was.
in that racing line. It's a
It
boulder.
was.
No, but it was a crazy crash, and for it to be in qualifying, controlled practice, whatever you want to call it,
Well,
it's kind of crazy.
And whenever
Yeah.
you said that, I then looked and I could follow. There was tire marks leading right to the scene of the accident, so you could kind of see as I put it together.
Mhm.
And not only that, then in the race,
Detective Logan over here.
mhm, we had the 97 blew a motor.
Yep.
coming
Dakota Walker.
off of 4.
Yep.
Went all the way through 1 and 2. Unfortunately, was way too much speed to get into pit road,
Right.
and so just fluid down all there.
Yep.
And then the 51. What's his name?
Randall Moy.
And I was good with these names the other night, and I just cannot think of them now. But he went in the pits, came back out. We went red in 3 and 4, and then I don't know if he had oil on the brakes. I don't know if he lost
I don't
brakes.
know.
He just, the field stopped, and he just didn't. He kept going
Yeah,
all the way out to the oak tree.
that was another crazy sight from the flag stand because I had Marcus in the flag stand with me, and we were sitting there chatting for a minute. I was like, we're going to throw the red flag. I was trying to train him on flag, and he's going to be like a backup flagman for us at Mobile. And they were all coming to park, and then you just see Randall just bloop, 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 bloop over the hill and just kept going down by the oak tree. And I was like, oh, God, he just went off the track.
It looked like he never slowed down.
Yeah.
I thought something broke on the car. I couldn't tell. So I came over the radio and I was like, hey, the 51 just went to the oak tree. We need to go see what's going on there. And somebody on the crew goes, no, he went in the pits. I was like, I literally just
No.
watched him go to the oak tree.
He
like
definitely-
it is a white car with a gold 51 on it. You
Yeah.
could clearly tell it was him.
No, I don't know what happened. I don't think I ever got clarification on.
Just like Davy's shirt. I mean, really close. You know.
White car, gold
White and
numbers.
gold.
I mean,
Yep. Davey Allison, R.I.P.
Well, he
yeah, for sure.
came back up, parked at the pit entrance road right there, and then whenever we went back under
got in
caution, he
line.
tagged rear, and I didn't see anything else happen. So I don't know if maybe
Yeah, I've never heard. I don't know what
I didn't
happened.
either,
Maybe
but it was-
Randall, if you're watching this, let us know what happened, man. We just want to make sure, or just kind of figure out, because from our point of view, it was a wild ride.
yeah, I mean it was definitely something crazy, and like I said, that division just kind of kept throwing us curveballs the other night.
I have
Yeah.
got to start coming to some of these races.
You've got to come hang out
Yeah.
at Mobile.
So the main reason that we didn't come this weekend was it was my anniversary.
Yeah,
Like I told
happy
I know.
1 year
So-
anniversary to Davey and Riley Lowe. Happy 1 year
Crazy.
y'all,
anniversary.
it has
Think that-
flown by.
A
Yeah.
year ago Saturday, we were holding Davy up for a picture
Yeah.
at his wedding.
Yeah,
I passed your wedding venue the other day
Did you?
on Sunday. I was looking for it because we went downtown to the haunted bookshop,
Mm.
and I was looking for it, And I was like, "There's the Popeyes. There it is back there." Because I remember seeing the Popeyes out front.
Yeah, we were going to walk through the drive-through of the Popeyes for his wedding night.
During that picture where y'all were holding me, I remember there were like 3 cars that came by and ordered me listen to what they ordered back because the speaker was so loud.
He said Diet Pepsi, you loser.
But
we can hear it from here.
I vividly remember I almost attempted to break Tim's finger because he would not stop tickling me because he got like my torso.
They put me in the middle. They're like, Tim's strong. He can hold Davey.
Yeah,
he's got this.
And like I'm a pretty big fella, and I love y'all to death, but I don't know if I trust y'all to hold me like that.
I didn't trust me to hold you like that.
It's all right. I can pick you up to body slam you at least. But anyway, yes, you definitely got to come to Mobile and hang out. Some of these races, and it's been crazy all year for sure. Good racing all year. Like at SSR
for sure.
But Eli Loper, Colby McDonald, and Michael Bowden rounded out the top 3 there in the pure stocks. Legacies, it was another crazy race in the Legacies. There's stuff going on all over the place.
Speaking of good racing, we kind of touched on it with Eli and Robert here. You know, the draft played a huge effect, and those top 4 for racing term, they were under a blanket.
Yeah.
You know, they were nose to tail. One would get a run, couldn't quite make the pass, and just it was good racing. And I know Bo Martin kind of dominated until he broke. And so I say dominated, but he was out front. Nobody could really make a challenge on him.
Right.
They may have been a car length or 2 off of him to where it wasn't like he was, you know, running away with it, but nobody could really get around him.
Yeah.
While the other of the top 4 were swapping back and forth.
Yeah, I remember sitting there in the flag stand in practice because when you get in the flag stand, you don't really get to see time and score and who's in a car or whatever. You're just waving flags and doing the racetrack stuff. And I saw him pull up in practice, and I was like, 28 Legacy, 28. It's a very beautiful car, Dave. You got to see that car. But anyway, and I was like, looking at Bo Martin. Ain't no way Bo Martin is in that car because he's been racing since I was born. Yeah. I'm pretty sure. But, I mean, he went out there and led almost every lap. And something broke.
Yeah, it was
like 2 to go.
Yeah, because he just slowed down the front. I think he broke going out in the back on the 2 to go lap. And they called him whenever they come around to get 1 to go. And we stayed green. Luckily, he had enough speed and everything. He wasn't in the way. He wasn't in the line. By the time the field caught him, he was coming down the front stretch, and he was able to duck off into the pits.
Yeah.
And actually, speaking of the legacies, Eli Loper, earlier in the episode, mentioned the slipstream.
Yep.
Logan, particularly, if you don't mind explaining what a slipstream is for some of our listeners or viewers that may not know the racing term for a slipstream.
Yeah, it's a lot like the draft. And the closest thing I can give to like your everyday street driver is whenever you get behind an 18-wheeler on the interstate and your car kind of buffers around a little bit and you have to let off the gas because it seems like all of a sudden your car is accelerating up to that truck. That's what we refer to as the draft, the slipstream, something like that. It's where there's not as much air on your vehicle directly as the second car in line or the car behind, something like that. The air is being pushed around that car, so you're in almost a pocket of low pressure to where you'll even get a little push on the back of the car that helps you accelerate. And so that's about the best way I can describe it is, getting up behind an 18-wheeler and doing that little bit of buffering around it does. We always see like NASCAR whenever they're at Daytona or something like that, or anywhere that they go to, if they get a big piece of debris on the grill, they'll get up behind somebody and it creates that low pressure air in front of it and they'll suck it off. Actually happened to me one time. I was driving down the road and a big old piece of plastic wrapped around the hood of my S10, and I was like, I'm going to see if this works in an everyday scenario thing. Got right up behind an 18-wheeler, boop, there I went. So,
but that was beautifully put.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially with your description of the scenario that you gave for the everyday driver. But the way gas prices are, I use the slipstream every time I get on the interstate.
Speaking of that S10, that was the way I had to pass people. I'd get me a run on an 18-wheeler, and every time I quoted Ricky Bobby, I'd be like, "Slingshot engaged."
I am speed.
That little 2.2 in that thing, it was like, oh god.
Yeah, but no, the Legacies put on a heck of a show. The top 4, I know Bo Martin was there, Chad Robinson, and Justin Reeves. I cannot remember the third place car at the time of that, but there was 4 of them, and they were just in a line and drafting. And we talked about how the Legacies pretty much, it's super speedway at Mobile for them. and they were putting on a heck of a show.
Well, and shout out to Jackson Howe, finished third the other night. Former SSR driver, actually led the field to green. Had a pretty nasty wreck in the first race out there.
Took a big hit.
To come back and have the confidence to actually lead that field to green and everything was big.
Yeah.
Led some laps.
Yep. For sure.
Just like they've said on their Facebook, if you follow it, they may have not brought home first place, but that was a huge win.
That was a win in their book.
For Jackson.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
But great rebound from that bad wreck to having a podium finish.
It's really cool. We sit up there whenever you were announcing with me the past couple of years, and even Ashley being up there now, I will point out every SSR driver and SSR family that I see.
Yep.
And so saw the Petermans there.
Yep.
Saw the Mokowitzes there.
Yep.
And they all came down out of the grandstands to go down there and support Jackson.
Yep. They all took a picture with him in third place. Yeah.
Also, speaking of the Mokowitzes, I just saw on Facebook maybe yesterday, I think it was. Happy birthday to Patrick. He just turned 15.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
Happy birthday, Patrick. That's right. Happy birthday, Patrick Mockowitz. Yeah, I did see that too. You're right. Shout out to Patrick Mockowitz. Happy birthday. Chad Robinson. It just seems like whatever the guy gets in, he's going to be at the front.
Yeah.
I mean, he went out there in, I think, his first legacy race of the year. I don't think he was in the first one.
The car didn't even have numbers on it whenever they unloaded it. It was an all black car, and I'm like, who is that? And they go, Chad. And I was like, oh, he'll be fast.
Yeah. And went out there and won the thing.
Yeah.
And then Justin Reeves second, Jackson Howe again third.
Yeah.
The legacies, again, just great racing out of the legacies. It seems to be the biggest field right now.
They are definitely growing. We had a couple little incidences. Big adversity overcome for Jeremy Finney.
Yeah.
Spun in 3 and 4. Had some fluid leakage. We sent him off the track. Crew jumped right on the car while we were getting the fluid cleaned up and got it fixed. They told me it was a vent on the rear end that had kind of come loose and was hanging down and was leaking. So they jumped on it, and he wound up rebounding and finished 4th.
Yeah.
Going back to Eddie's episode, I think we should shout out Eddie for taking some small part, at least, in having that field grow so fast.
Oh, for sure.
And,
for sure.
Just continuously growing.
Yeah.
For trying to get some of those cars spread out down here.
Yeah, he went out and bought them himself to have people buy to have here in Mobile.
Yeah, he's almost like a dealer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations to Chad again on another amazing race.
For sure.
Trucks, Grant Thompson dominated again. Which we know, we've seen him before in the past. Another SSR driver in another division, but before he did his travel and late model stuff, he was in the trucks and dominated then.
Yeah.
And so he's back in the truck again this year. Wins Saturday night.
Yeah, I'm just now noticing. So 4 of the 5 drivers that won Saturday night were SSR alums, because Dustin Smith cut his teeth here in a legend as well. And so, but yeah, Grant went out, ran a good race. A little bit of drama between him and Maddox. I don't exactly remember what happened.
I don't either.
I don't know if Maddox just felt like he drove him dirty. I kind of heard a little bit of his interview where he kind of alluded to that. And it may have been something to where, the trucks got spread pretty far out. Yeah, I may have been watching the back of the pack to make sure, if there were side by side back there, I may have missed it. But yeah, it's just I believe a racing deal, and maybe, Maddox may have took it the wrong way or something, and just, yeah. I honestly thought he was congratulating him whenever they were coming around to victory lane.
Like a little bump.
Yeah, he just kind of got in the back of him, and I was like, oh, 2 SSR guys raced against each other, and then he got out and he made a beeline over for the window. I was like, oh no, he's mad.
Yeah, he's mad. Yeah, I don't remember seeing anything, but like you said, you had a lot of racetrack to watch when you're up there. So, I mean, Maddox is usually a very calm, cool, collected kid. So if something had to have happened for him to be that, upset about it, it's just something to watch in the future at the track,
For sure.
So Grant Thompson with the win. Ray Herndon finished second, but was DQ'd.
Yeah.
I don't know what for. I don't remember.
They didn't tell me. Okay. We stay up in the tower until we get all the results. Me and Miss Cindy do. As soon as we get all the results, then Miss Cindy's able to cut the checks for everybody, get them downstairs to everybody. And, Tommy Ruff, the tech man at Mobile, he just keyed up and was like, hey, Logan. I was like, yeah. He goes, 3 truck DQ. Didn't elaborate on it or anything. And so it probably was something minor. I think it may have been weight related. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. It looked like they put that truck on the scales a couple times, maybe. And so I don't want to speak out and say exactly what it was because I'm not sure, but I think it was probably just an oversight.
Gotcha. And then again, Maddox Langham, third place. Outlaws, Carter Taylor. That kid is fast.
Yeah, and it was kind of wild, the outlaw race. You know, the 22. It's not Colby McDonald.
No.
It's
Dylan Courtney.
Dylan Courtney.
Yep.
I knew it was something with a C
Yep.
on the last name, and that's the reason I was
I had to
thinking
think
Colby
for a
McDonald.
minute. Yeah.
So Dylan Courtney, you know, him and Carter were pretty evenly matched. Carter, you know, would gain a little bit, and Dylan would pull back away a little bit, and we had a caution. And Dylan pulled in on the back, and I don't know. They never came back out. I don't know what happened. If something may have broke under caution. But
I remember looking into the pits right before we were getting ready to go back green just to see if they were trying to come out or anything, and they had the rear end jacked up. Like, they had the jack under the rear end.
And
so
honestly, you know, I kind of look out for that stuff. If I can see that they're thrashing trying to get back out, I'll give you an extra lap or two.
Right.
Because we want those fast cars back out there on the racetrack to make a show out of it for the fans. And as a racer, you know, coming from that, we got, I don't want to say screwed one time, but we felt like we got kind of not given a fair opportunity to get back out whenever we had a flat tire. You know, Bobby came down the front. As soon as he hit the pit road, the rest of the field was coming off a 4, and they got one to go. So we had less than a lap to get this tire changed. And it was like, come on, man, we need a little bit more time, and we'll make a little bit better show out of this because we're going to come up through the pack.
Yeah.
And so we, you know, as a racer, I want as many cars out there as can be. So we'll give you a few laps to try and get it back out there. But like you said, I looked down there to the Courtney pit. I followed him in and everything, and it just didn't seem like there was any rush. Like they had something
they knew something was, you know, not fixable.
Right.
I mean, we know Mobile's a bigger track, Davey, but I mean, here at SSR, caution laps fast.
Yeah.
Very fast.
Yeah.
But I mean, MIS, it's bigger, but they still click off.
And it definitely depends on who's pacing the field.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well, and I know
because there's some drivers that pace a lot faster than some other drivers.
For sure.
So there's some caution laps that you have a little bit of extra time because you know that the pace is going to be a little bit slower. But then you get some of these other drivers that pace, you know, about 3/8 of a throttle, and so so your time's a little bit less.
We do try
there.
We do try to like get that pace back. I will tell them every now and then on the receiver, like, hey, you're pacing a little fast, because especially whenever the field gets kind of spaced out, stuff like that. But you know, back to what I was saying of trying to give them time. Here, I will get with TJ and I'll be like, hey, TJ, does it look like they're trying to return? You know, we're obviously y'all can hear that on the radio. That's a track radio.
Right.
At Mobile, that was kind of what I did whenever Dan's in the tower, whenever I'm the pit steward, as they call it. I will go to that car's pit and I will try and be on the radio with Dan, be like, hey, they're changing a tire, give them a lap or two. And I try to vouch for those racers to give them that time to get back out. So that's the reason I kind of kept an eye on it, was because you never want to feel like the track is against you. And I know how easily that misconception can be if you're not given that time.
Yeah. And I mean, again, you know, and the difference between a caution lap here and a caution lap in Mobile is, you know, here we're paced by whoever's in first, right? Whoever's leading the race at the time. As to where Mobile has the pace car.
James Prysock.
And,
I love Mr. James. Did you hear his comment whenever he passed the field down there in 1 and 2?
I don't remember.
So he came over the radio. He goes, hey, Logan, that was a real pass in the grass right there, because he hung 2 tires down in the dirt.
Logan forgot to tell him to come out to pace the field.
I forget
and Mr. James was like, you know what? He was in the Corvette. He was like, you know what? I'm going to get this. Flew off, went through the grass in 1 and 2 to get in front of the field.
Yeah, and he was happy about it too. He made made sure he made a comment, and I turned to Miss Cindy, is his wife, and she's up there in the tower with me. I turned to Miss Cindy. I was like, Mr. James is keeping me sane tonight, because it was a crazy night.
It was a crazy night of
Well, Logan just made a comment that he forgets a lot, and from being the flagman here, I can vouch for that a lot, because he'll forget to tell me or verify that we are coming back to halfway or
I almost missed one with Tim the other night. I was watching racing or something, and, I just happened to get the cross flags out of the corner of my eye. I was like, yes, halfway.
So for him, it's a little bit harder at Mobile than the way I do it, because here I can just kind of turn around and glance into the tower and I can see either Ashley or Tim, or sometimes you,
Mhm.
you'll catch me turn around to verify. The tower at Mobile is a lot further away than it is here. So, and it's also got that point on it, so it's harder for Tim to turn around and do what I do here to verify it.
Yeah.
So, like, you have to be able to.
You're a
tell
lot
him.
more in my line of sight.
Yeah.
Especially with the tower there being at the very top of the grandstands, and there is a good amount of lead up
Yeah.
up there. And so, yeah, it was. I barely caught it out of my peripheral, and I was like, "Oh yes, yeah, we're coming to half."
Well, yeah, I mean, you say it's harder for me, but honestly, Mobile has a scoreboard,
I was
and I
just
can see
fixing
the
to
lap
say
count.
he does have a little
yeah.
bit of a
Yeah.
backup,
And
but
so it kind of helps with
but
that.
the races are different lengths, so you do have
Yeah.
to verify. Like if it's a 30 lapper, it's 15. If it's
Yep.
a 50 lapper, it's 25. If it's a 20 lapper, it's 10. So
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the different length races. We just experienced that 2 weeks ago
with the
Yeah.
legends,
here at Mobile because the bandos
Well, this is
ran
Sunny South,
25 or what did I say? Mobile?
you said Mobile.
That's Sunny South. My bad.
We're in Mobile County.
Actually,
Yeah,
technically, I'm wrong. It's SSR Motorsports Park.
That's
Yeah.
right.
But the bandos they ran 25 laps, and the legends ran 40.
40. Yep.
And
Well, and that's
we're so used to running 20 lap features here.
Yeah.
So whenever you throw that oddball number of 25 in there, it was like, all right, well, when do we give this halfway?
well, and that's also my fault. Because we were supposed to run 25 every race this year in the bandos. That is their new race
Oh.
schedule. We did it the first night. I completely we
I
did.
don't even-
We did. I remember
Yeah, I mean,
because
yeah, I'm
I
sure you did,
announced
but I
it
just
and
don't remember.
everything at the drivers' meeting because Abe had told me. For the second race, I just fell back into old habits because I knew about the dice roll for the
Actually,
legends.
I kind of feel like I do remember that
Yeah.
because you tried to give me halfway at 10, and I had to sit there and argue with you.
You're
Yes.
like, no, it's in 3 laps.
And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
and so the second race, I dropped the ball completely, and I gave Davey halfway at 10, and it was one of those deals where after the races, I was like, I messed up. All right, then we'll correct that for the next race, and so it's a learning curve for everybody.
Yeah.
But it does give those drivers a little bit more time on the racetrack. Gives them a little bit longer green flag runs a lot of times.
Yep. And a little bit more
And-
experience.
well, not just experience, but there's also been a few races that we've seen out here where we talk about it after the race, and it's like, man, if they had 3 more laps, that could
They
have
would've
been
been a
a
battle.
very interesting battle.
Yeah, I think the biggest one that I can remember was the Carter Taylor race last year, where he essentially started a lap down
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
tried to catch the field. Three to five more laps, he would have been there. He'd have been
Yeah.
on Abe's back bumper.
Yeah. And then going back to Carter, winner and outlaw now.
Yeah, I mean, just
Way to bring that around.
a great race. He
I
just
like
a
what you
smooth
did
driver.
there.
Yeah.
To-
Pretty good.
to bring it around,
Mhm.
go for a round track racing.
Yeah, yeah.
I like it. I like
Bring it
it.
around town.
I was just thinking SpongeBob wrestling. Bring it around
Mhm.
town. So,
Left foot, don't forget it.
But Carter Taylor with the win again. He's just fast in the outlaw, man, and he's a force to be reckoned with. And then, like we said, Dylan Courtney's fast too. So they're going to put on a well of a show each race.
yeah,
and I feel like
they've been our winners every race this
Mhm.
year so far. And I know we're 3 races in, and I really thought it was going to be a good battle between the two of them.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, just Dylan had that issue.
Yeah, and then Derek Griffith and Bowen Mayhew round out the top 3.
Yeah, so it's always a feather in your cap whenever you can say you beat Derek Griffith.
Yeah, for sure. Especially in the outlaw.
Yes.
That dude is just dominant over the last several years in an outlaw.
And that was a beautiful car, too.
Yeah,
that
it's
blue
very
and
pretty.
black.
Yeah, I feel like he may be in brand new car or something because
Yeah.
it wasn't quite up to like a Derek Griffith speed.
It definitely looked like they were struggling a little bit with handling in
Mhm.
practice. 3 and 4 just seemed to be his Achilles heel because it looked like it just never would hunt the bottom.
Right.
It would go down the corner and it just kind of stayed mid track and then it would just kind of wash up.
Mhm.
And so I maybe just fighting a little bit of handling issues, new car issues, like you were saying.
Maybe, yeah. But Pro Late Models, another great show. Dustin Smith, I mean, he is just dominant in his Pro Late Models.
Yeah.
He's fast. And we
That
know
was a new car for him. Not a brand new car overall, but a new car for him. White. Most
white
of his
with the
cars are
blue
black.
33 and Smith scrap metal on it.
Yeah, very basic.
It was a basic car for
Yeah.
Dustin. Dustin usually has some really flashy cars. Maybe he hadn't been able to put the wrap on it yet or
Maybe
not.
not. Maybe just stuck the stickers on there for that one race.
But yeah, it was very pretty. It was just basic white late model.
Mhm.
And you know Dustin, he's got the black and orange last season, black and blue the season before. I
Mhm.
mean, they're usually very pretty cars. James Patrick, and he finished
Yeah.
second.
Yeah.
But our
was
boy Tyler,
James was my big drama of the night, other than the flip car.
Yeah.
Something I personally have never seen happen at Mobile. They have the
I've never
rolling.
even heard of it happening.
Yeah, me
So
neither.
I talked to Bobby earlier today and was just kind of recapping with him because he was down at the base of the very end of the back straightaway, almost into 3. That's where he likes to watch from the pit area.
Mm-hmm.
Had several comments to make throughout the night. Likes to text me whenever he's been drinking a little bit and let me know how I'm doing a bad job of running the show.
That's just Bobby.
That's just Bobby,
That has nothing to do with
At
him
one
drinking.
point, he texted me and he was like, lights ain't on. I was like, I'm aware of that. We're working on it. They take a minute to heat up.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks qualifying in the dark. I'm like, you're not even out there. Shut the hell up.
But yeah, that's just Bobby. Whenever we go golfing, he we're out there early. He hasn't even had a beer yet. And,
I know.
And he's already chirping.
He is on it, son.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was. We were talking earlier today, and he said,
I see where you get it from.
Yeah, it's hereditary. Can't help it. But he said that he's only ever seen it happen one other time, and we were kind of talking before we got back into the pod here. Back in the day, they would roll the stairs up at the end of the night, and they would just leave them there till the next race night. Mm-hmm. And back then, the track was open. There wasn't a fence or anything. You just went out there and practiced.
Right.
And so he said he saw a super modified. He went out, made some laps, and the stairs were up there. He said you essentially had to go out and avoid them and then go back out to make your entry into one. And he said a super modified didn't avoid them, and it took the right front off of it, and he went head on into the wall and destroyed that car. But a little bit different scenario Saturday night with James. We're doing single car qualifying. We did it for the Outlaws and the Pro Late models. And Tucker had been, he's doing a great job. He's flagging them out, sending them on the checkered flag. That most of them, followed right along, came in on the backstretch like they're supposed to. So Tucker sent James, and he hopped up on the stairs because James was close to the stairs. James went past it, those tires stick out about that far from where the actual staircase is.
Right.
And as he went past, he caught that tire. It pinned the other one to the wall, and that staircase just whipped around, and it ragdolled Tucker.
Yeah, it slung him.
Yeah.
Poor kid.
Oh, yeah. And so we red flagged the track. James sat there while we kind of attended to stuff, and the rest of the drivers kind of sat there, got Tucker checked out. Popeye stepped in and did stop and go for us for most of the rest of the night.
Yeah.
Tucker actually got out there for the pro truck race at the end of the night.
He got done in the last race. I told him he only got half a pay because he only worked half the night.
His response was, I've already talked to Eddie about that. You should have got some hazard pay the way you got thrown around.
Right.
Yeah.
But hopefully, Tyler, you're feeling better and ready to be back to the next race.
Yeah.
But James
Feel
Patrick.
better, Tyrone.
Yeah, Tyrone, get better. James Patrick second, Donald Crocker, another top 3.
Yeah, he
coming out
was
in the pro lates.
very, very strong early. The tires went away on that car toward the end. I want to say he passed coming to the checkered maybe to get that.
It was a
place.
race for third. He was a little bit ahead, but it was a race coming down to the last couple laps.
Yeah. And so they were sideways, both of them, all around the track. And I can't remember who he was battling. Maybe in the 18 car.
I don't remember.
But it was a good race.
Yeah.
It was a good hard race. Dustin obviously dominant. I want to say he had a straightaway lead by the end of it. And
there was. And I don't know, I could have caught it at the wrong time, but there was one time he was going down the front straightaway, he come out of 4, and he stuck his hand out the window, and I was like, is this kid driving one-handed just to be silly right now?
He was getting some air, probably.
Yeah, but I was like, nah, he's probably getting some air, just getting a little bit of airflow in there. But another great night of racing at Mobile, and we got another great night at SSR this weekend.
Yeah.
And ready for some more legends and bandos and carts. These guys out here on every week has put on a great show.
Yeah, and kind of touch on, you say legends, bandos, and carts Friday.
Yep.
Wide open practice session.
Yeah.
If you've got something with a motor and 4 wheels, you can come out here and practice.
Come practice.
I want to say it's from 4 to 7, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. 4 to 7, 4 to 8.
So trying not to turn the lights on, probably.
Yeah.
Have adjusted the entry fee.
Yep.
They're a little bit better. It's $20 a person.
Right.
No car entry fee or anything anymore. Good to see them listen to the fan feedback and the racer feedback on that kind of stuff.
Yep.
If we have some bigger classes out here, I might come down here Friday just to see them turn a few laps down here.
Yeah. Just to come see, because Thursday night's going to be a kart night, right? Is that just kind of how it's lined up?
Yes.
Karts night. So the night this pod will drop, it will be karts for SSR. And then Friday night is anything big car, really. Bando's up to pro late model.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Trucks.
it just said late model. So if you
Yeah.
got a supercar and you want to come out here and shake it down,
Bro, super late model on this track would be wild to
the
watch.
only time I've ever seen it was there was a TV advert that Connor was in for like Fox 10
For Fox
News.
10, I remember that.
And
yeah.
so it was a badass like advert and everything, but that's the only time I've ever seen anything like that out here.
Yeah.
Modifieds out here were crazy.
Yeah, I remember
we
the
used to-
modifieds back in the day.
Well, we used to race out here whenever they were out here, and Jimmy Hammond, always been a close friend of ours, the 07 modified. He was driving out here, and it was crazy to see because they have so much power for such a little tire. They weren't in the throttle hardly at all.
Right.
And I know whenever my dad was driving like a sportsman car out here, the first time we came out here, Michael Moody told him, he was like, you have to let off at the flag stand to make 1 and 2. And Bo was like, he's full of crap. You can drive it down in there. And he did. And he almost hit the wall coming off too, because it just all the way out because he had way too much speed.
The momentum kind of messed him up.
Yeah.
Well, guys, another great night of racing coming up soon at SSR. Make sure you guys come check it out. I mean,
for sure.
If you haven't been out here yet, you definitely need to come check it out. The racing's been great. The atmosphere's been amazing.
Yeah, and I know
the track looks beautiful.
They're working on, I've seen some ads out for the first drift events coming up.
April 26th.
I believe it is.
So. That's right.
So those ads have been popping up all over Facebook. I watched a reel earlier today on Facebook, and that was the ad immediately following the reel, and I was like, "That's pretty cool."
Yeah, they're doing some really cool stuff on the drift side.
You and I came out to the open drift event that they had, and so it's incredible to watch. So I'd really like to see an event where that was more of a practice session, something like that. It was still impressive, but really going to be cool to see an event put on out here.
Right.
And from what Abe has said, we may be able to see a couple more exhibitions during our race nights.
Right.
So they're working on that because of the fan response to that.
Yeah. Not only will we have to come to a practice session on a Friday night to watch pro late models or whoever jump on the track, we'll have to come up here on a Sunday and watch a drift event too, and just chill for a couple hours and hang out.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, guys, we want to thank you again for watching another episode of From the Tower. We love you guys. Thank you for being part of the From the Tower family, and we will see you all next episode.
Love y'all. Thank y'all.